Amid the mysteries of the universe, there is something that always eludes us, a force that seems both fascinating and frightening at the same time: the black sun. Many have heard whispers about it in ancient mythologies, conspiracy theories, and occult studies, but few truly understand what lies behind this concept. Is it merely a symbol? Or does the black sun hold a secret so powerful that humanity is still not ready to uncover it? But if the black sun truly exists, why have so many cultures throughout history converged on the idea of a forbidden energy that pulses beyond the light we know? And furthermore, how could this force offer us answers not only about the cosmos but also about ourselves? After all, what is the black sun? A mystical metaphor or a real key to the mysteries of the universe? The concept of the black sun, though obscured for centuries, is a persistent echo that traverses civilizations, mythologies, and esoteric traditions. We are not merely talking about an invisible celestial body, but about a symbolic and energetic force that seemed to be known by ancient cultures, many of which described it as the hidden principle of creation and destruction. But where did this idea come from? In the Norse pantheon, for example, the black sun is subtly mentioned in prophecies such as Ragnarok, the apocalypse of the gods. During this event, a mysterious darkness engulfs the sky, announcing the end of an era and the rebirth of the world. For the ancient Norse, this darkness was not merely destruction. It symbolized an inevitable cycle of renewal, where death was as essential as life. Can you imagine the impact of this concept on a culture so intimately connected to nature and its cycles? In the alchemical traditions of the Middle Ages, the black sun appears once again, this time associated with Nigredo, the initial phase of spiritual and material transformation. Here, it symbolized the death of the ego, the plunge into internal shadows so that a new light could emerge. For alchemists, working with the concept of the black sun was a process of profound purification and ascension. And perhaps, they believed, the very key to transmuting the soul and the physical world. In Eastern scriptures, such as the Vedic texts of India, we also find indirect mentions of the black sun. The Vedas speak of an invisible light or luminous darkness that permeates the entire universe, something that can only be perceived by those who transcend material senses. For the Vedic sages, this primordial energy was neither good nor bad. It was the cosmic fabric that sustained all that exists. Could this invisible light be the same principle that the alchemists and the Norse saw as the black sun? Even in ancient Greek philosophy, we find traces of this idea. Plato, for example, spoke of the existence of an invisible reality that transcended the world of appearances. Although he did not use the term black sun, his vision of a world of pure and eternal ideas resonated with the notion of a hidden force guiding everything. Could the black sun be the primordial idea from which everything emanates? Over the centuries, the concept of the black sun began to fade from collective consciousness. Perhaps due to fear of its complexity, or perhaps due to intentional suppression, it was relegated to the shadows, becoming a topic discussed only in closed circles of scholars and esotericists. In the Middle Ages, many who explored these concepts were accused of heresy and persecuted, such as the alchemists and mystics who dared to seek the hidden light beyond religious dogma. But why would this idea be so dangerous? Is it possible that the black sun represented knowledge so advanced that it threatened the control systems of the time? Or perhaps it was simply misunderstood, a concept so vast that it became terrifying to minds accustomed to simpler truths? What is even more intriguing is that, despite being hidden, the black sun continued to emerge in unexpected contexts. In the 19th and 20th centuries, for instance, occultism scholars began to revive its symbolism, connecting it to spiritual power and universal energy. Some even believed it could be a literally existing force, a source of cosmic energy pulsing at the center of the universe, invisible to the human eye. Even today, in the modern world, the roots of the black sun persist in our collective consciousness. It appears in works of art, literature, and even in conspiracy theories suggesting that secret groups continue to study its mysteries. What makes the black sun so alluring, so hypnotizing? Perhaps it is because it offers us something we often seek unknowingly, a glimpse of something greater, something that unites the duality of light and shadow, of the known and the unknown. In a world where everything seems divided, the black sun reminds us that there are forces that transcend the boundaries we have created. The black sun is not just an esoteric concept, it is a living metaphor for the human journey. It challenges us to dive into the shadows, into the depths of our own soul, and emerge transformed, closer to a greater truth. But are we ready to face what that truth truly means? The black sun transcends the boundaries of a mere esoteric concept. It is a symbol that spans time, carrying with it a power that intrigues both mystics and modern scholars. More than a philosophical idea, it seems to be an enigmatic map pointing to secrets still hidden within the human soul and the structure of the universe. But what makes this symbol so enduring and universal? In the present day, the black sun continues to emerge in unexpected contexts. It appears in contemporary art, literary narratives, and even in scientific theories exploring concepts such as dark energy and antimatter. In certain esoteric circles, it is interpreted as the primary source of cosmic energy, while in science fiction literature, it is often depicted as a portal or engine for interdimensional forces. These cultural echoes are a reminder that, even in an era of advanced technology, the black sun still resonates in our collective unconscious. Why does it remain so present, even in times of skepticism? Some modern occult scholars suggest that the black sun is not merely a passive symbol but a living energy, with manifestations that can be felt in spiritual practices. Specific rituals, such as those performed in ceremonial magic, use its image to access altered states of consciousness. In certain traditions, the black sun is visualized during deep meditations as a black point amidst an infinite white light, representing the gateway to the collective unconscious and the absolute unknown. But is the black sun merely a psychic projection, or does it truly exist in a dimension beyond the tangible? In the realm of depth psychology, the black sun also finds its relevance. Carl Jung, while investigating the archetypes of the collective unconscious, addressed the shadow as one of the essential components of the human psyche. But beyond the personal shadow, composed of everything we reject in ourselves, Jung suggested the existence of a collective shadow, a force representing the traumas, fears, and secrets of all humanity. In this context, the black sun could be seen as the symbol of this collective energy, a repository of all that has not yet been integrated into human consciousness. Could this be why so many cultures treated it as something forbidden or dangerous? In modern spiritual alchemy, the black sun continues to be used as a reference point for inner transformation. In certain meditation practices, it is visualized not as something distant but as a force within each individual. The idea is that by confronting this internal sun, the practitioner can release deep psychological and energetic blockages, facing fears, traumas, and personal limitations. But why does this practice provoke so much discomfort? Perhaps because gazing upon the black sun means confronting truths we often prefer to ignore. A fascinating example of its symbolic application lies in the work of modern artists who use the black sun to explore themes of duality and transcendence. Painters, filmmakers, and writers frequently draw upon it as a metaphor for the threshold between destruction and creation. Films that depict black holes as passages to other dimensions echo the symbolism of the black sun as a portal between worlds, something both fascinating and terrifying. This leads us to wonder, could contemporary art be preparing us for something we do not yet fully understand? From the perspective of occult practices, the black sun is seen as a symbol of power and responsibility. Some rituals described in ancient grimoires suggest that it can be invoked to dissolve illusions and reveal essential truth, but they warn that this comes at a price. When facing the black sun, the practitioner must be willing to sacrifice everything that is not true in their life. Doesn't this sound eerily familiar? How often do we avoid profound changes because we fear losing what we believe to be essential? On the other hand, the black sun is also associated with the risk of imbalance. Some occultists caution that its energy can be misused, particularly by those seeking power without first mastering their own shadow. In such cases, it can become a symbol of selfishness and destruction rather than transformation. Perhaps this is why so many occult traditions treat the black sun with reverence and caution, recognizing that not everyone is ready to handle its energy. In the realm of less conventional scientific theories, some have connected the concept of the black sun to dark energy, the invisible force accelerating the universe's expansion. While science does not directly reference a black sun, the idea of a primordial energy that permeates everything resonates deeply with esoteric symbolism. Could the black sun, as a symbol, be an ancient attempt to comprehend what we are now beginning to explore through modern physics? And what of its association with alternative dimensions? Some occult traditions believe the black sun is a portal to parallel realities, a point of connection between worlds that coexist but rarely interact. This idea might seem fanciful, But considering how modern physics already acknowledges the possibility of multiverses, perhaps these beliefs are closer to the truth than we might imagine. The black sun is not merely a symbol of external mystery. It is a mirror. When we look at it, we are forced to confront what we prefer not to see: our limitations, our fears, our contradictions. And at the same time, it offers the promise of something more: the possibility of transcendence, of uniting opposites within ourselves. Could this be the true message of the black sun? Thus, the symbol and the occult come together in the black sun as two sides of the same coin. It is not just a cosmic mystery, but an invitation to explore the unknown, both outside and within ourselves. The lingering question is, are we ready to accept this invitation, or will we continue to shy away from the shadows it reveals? When we look at the concept of the black sun through the lenses of science and spirituality, we are confronted with an unsettling truth. Just because something is invisible does not mean it isn't real. This symbolic force, often relegated to the realm of the occult, seems to find echoes in modern scientific theories and spiritual practices that transcend ordinary logic. But is the black sun merely an elaborate myth? Or is it, in fact, an essential piece in the architecture of the cosmos and human consciousness? Beginning with science, it is impossible to ignore the parallel between the black sun and the concept of dark energy. Discovered by astrophysicists in the late 20th century, dark energy makes up the majority of the known universe, yet it cannot be directly observed. It is invisible, intangible, and yet its impact is undeniable. It is the force accelerating the expansion of the cosmos. This description seems eerily familiar to what mystics across various eras have described as the black sun, a force that cannot be seen but governs motion and existence. Could it be that ancient cultures, in referencing the black sun, were intuitively perceiving this invisible energy? Additionally, modern physics offers another fascinating parallel: black holes. These celestial phenomena possess gravity so intense that they absorb everything around them, even light, creating absolute darkness. However, far from being mere pits of destruction, black holes are now considered by some scientists to be portals to other dimensions, or even the origins of new universes. If we connect this to the symbolism of the black sun, we might imagine it not as a purely destructive force, but as a point of transition, a space where reality transforms into something entirely new. Could the black sun, in essence, be the perfect metaphor for these thresholds between the known and the unknown? While science explores the secrets of the external universe, spirituality turns to the mysteries within, and it is here that the black sun takes on an even more transformative role. In esoteric practices, it is often described as the portal of the soul, the point where human beings confront the void to achieve wholeness. Some modern spiritual traditions include the visualization of the black sun during deep meditations, where it appears as a radiant black disk emitting an invisible light that dissolves emotional and spiritual blockages. These practices aim to awaken consciousness to hidden truths, but also bring a challenge. By plunging into this void, we are forced to face parts of ourselves we often prefer to ignore. Are we all prepared to confront what this void might reveal? An interesting point is how certain religious traditions also flirt with this idea of darkness as a path to the divine. In Christian mysticism, Saint Teresa of Avila and Saint John of the Cross spoke of a dark night of the soul, a state of spiritual darkness in which the individual feels separated from God, but which, paradoxically, serves as a prelude to divine union. This concept of transformative darkness resonates deeply with the symbolism of the black sun, a period of emptiness and suffering that leads to rebirth and enlightenment. Could the black sun, then, be a key to this profound and yet often feared spiritual transition? The Kabbalah also offers an intriguing perspective. In the Tree of Life, there is a hidden sphere called Dath, representing the gateway between human knowledge and higher truths. Dath is both a point of wisdom and a place of danger, as those who attempt to access this knowledge without preparation risk being overwhelmed by its vastness. Dath and the black sun share this liminal quality. Both are portals to the unknown, and both demand courage to be explored. Perhaps the black sun is, in fact, a reflection of this mysterious sphere, an ancient attempt to describe the threshold between the visible and the invisible. But what about the question of control? Why is the black sun so often described as a forbidden energy? Some theories suggest that accessing this force allows an individual to achieve a level of spiritual autonomy that threatens religious, social, and political institutions. During the Inquisition, for example, any practice offering direct connection to the divine, without the Church as an intermediary, was labeled heretical. Perhaps the black sun was suppressed precisely because it offers freedom, and freedom can be the greatest threat to systems reliant on control. Still, the message of the black sun persists, even in modern times. In ceremonial magic practices, it is used as a symbol of absolute transmutation. One example can be found in the grimoire known as the Key of Solomon, where advanced rituals instruct the practitioner to visualize a point of infinite darkness while reciting words of power. This point of darkness is described as a source of hidden truth, but it is also accompanied by a warning. Only those willing to sacrifice their illusions can access what it offers. This leads to an uncomfortable question. What would you be willing to give up to reach the truth? Beyond magical practices, the black sun finds a surprising parallel in quantum science. Experiments conducted at the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, suggest that the universe contains more invisible energy than we can comprehend. These studies also raise questions about the existence of parallel dimensions or forces that cannot be directly perceived. Isn't it intriguing to think that the black sun, as a symbol, might be an ancient intuition about these forces that we are only now beginning to explore scientifically? The black sun challenges us to look toward the future. It is not merely a symbol of what once was, it is also a promise of what is yet to come. Whether in the fields of science, spirituality, or human consciousness, it invites us to push beyond the boundaries of what we know. But are we ready to accept this invitation? Or, as so often before, will we continue to fear the unknown? The black sun is not merely a concept shrouded in mysticism, it is a mystery in itself, a symbol that defies linear logic and the boundaries of human thought. Its enigmatic nature leads us to reflections that oscillate between the cosmos and the soul, the visible and the invisible. But what is so special about the black sun that it seems to remain hidden, forbidden, or relegated to the realm of the occult? To answer this question, we must dive into its deepest and most controversial aspects. The first layer of mystery surrounding the black sun lies in its connection to cosmic cycles. Rather than representing it as the starting point of creation, we can understand it as a cyclical principle, an eternal birth and death that governs not only the stars but also the energy that drives the universe. Think of the cycles of destruction and creation happening at every moment in the cosmos, collapsing galaxies, dying stars, and new worlds born from their remnants. The black sun, then, would be the symbolic expression of this eternal process, a force reminding us that an ending is never absolute but the prelude to something new. Could it be that in contemplating it, we are engaging with the very essence of universal rebirth? But the black sun is not confined to the dimensions of the physical cosmos. It is also described as an inner portal, a passage to the deepest realms of the mind and spirit. Rather than being a literal entry to other dimensions, it represents the point where the conscious and unconscious collide. In advanced meditations and rituals, practitioners are encouraged to visualize a vortex of darkness at the center of their being, a space where all illusions dissolve. In this process, the raw and unfiltered truth of the human psyche is revealed. But this portal demands courage. How many of us are truly ready to face our darkest fears? Throughout history, many occult organizations have treated the black sun as a symbol of mastery over oneself and the universe. While the Thule Society is the most frequently mentioned, many other esoteric traditions, such as certain branches of Hermeticism and Gnosticism, have interpreted the black sun in unique ways. In Gnosticism, for example, it serves as a metaphor for the confrontation with the demiurge, the false god who traps humanity in material illusion. In Hermeticism, it symbolizes the intermediary state between ignorance and total enlightenment, where darkness must be integrated before light can emerge. This leads us to an interesting reflection. Has the black sun always been viewed as a dangerous symbol, or simply as a necessary challenge for those seeking true knowledge? The idea that the black sun represents forbidden knowledge also raises fascinating questions. Some argue that it was deliberately kept from the masses because it offers spiritual freedom. During historical periods of religious and political control, ideas that promoted personal autonomy were often banned or labeled as heretical. Imagine the impact of knowledge about a force that connects us directly to the cosmos and the divine, without intermediaries. Such knowledge could destabilize entire institutions built on hierarchies of power. But are we ready for that freedom, or do we need the structures that keep us safe in our beliefs? One of the most intriguing interpretations of the black sun is its role as a catalyst for inner transformation. Rather than being a static symbol, it represents a process. Think of it as a spiritual laboratory, where opposites meet to create something new. Light and shadow, good and evil, life and death. Within the black sun, these dualities dissolve, revealing the true nature of balance. Alchemists called this coincidentia oppositorum, or the union of opposites. In other words, the black sun teaches us that we do not need to flee from our shadows. Instead, we must embrace them as essential parts of who we are. Another layer of mystery lies in how the black sun can serve as a means to access different forms of knowledge. Some esoteric traditions suggest that it is a tool for reaching what is known as the Akashic Records, a universal repository containing all memories of the past, present, and future. But perhaps the black sun is something more practical than metaphysical. Rather than merely being a guardian of knowledge, it could be a symbol of the human desire for transcendence, the drive to explore what lies beyond the boundaries of the known. This quest for wisdom, however, is always accompanied by risks. After all, how do we deal with truths that challenge everything we believe to be real? In the realm of science, interpretations of the black sun as a symbol of transformation gain new perspectives. The cycles of death and rebirth it represents have parallels in astrophysics and even evolutionary biology. On a cosmic level, it reflects the behavior of black holes, not only consuming matter but also potentially being sites where new forms of energy are generated. On a biological level, it reminds us that the process of evolution requires the old to give way to the new. This suggests that the black sun, as a concept, is not just a metaphysical mystery but also a description of universal principles governing everything that exists. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the black sun does not lie in its definition but in the impact it has on us. It is not merely an external symbol. It is a reflection of what we carry within. For those who see it as a destructive force, it symbolizes fear of the unknown, the collapse of old beliefs. But for those who see it as a catalyst, it is a promise of renewal, a chance to reinvent oneself amid chaos. The lingering question is, how do you choose to see the black sun? Are we ready to open this door? The black sun is often described as a key, but what exactly does it unlock? It is called the key to the universe, but this does not merely signify access to hidden knowledge or cosmic dimensions. It is also a key that can open doors to a deeper understanding of time, energy, and, above all, the collective consciousness. However, this key does not present itself as an easy or free solution. It demands sacrifice, courage, and a confrontation with what we have, until now, preferred to ignore. One of the most compelling ways to understand the black sun as a key is through its connection to cosmic cycles. Unlike the idea of a static origin, the black sun seems to symbolize the perpetual movement between creation and destruction, birth and death. In the cosmos, we see this in stars that collapse and give rise to new forms of life from their death, in black holes that consume matter while generating incomprehensible energy flows. The black sun, as a key, would not be a fixed point in the universe, but a force that reminds us that reality is fluid, constantly transforming. Are we ready to accept that the stability we seek is, in truth, an illusion? Beyond the physical cosmos, the black sun also seems to be a key to deeper dimensions of time. Unlike the linear perspective we are accustomed to, it challenges us to understand time as something cyclical or even simultaneous. Imagine past, present, and future not as separate moments but as overlapping layers, coexisting in a complex dance of interconnected events. This idea echoes many spiritual traditions and even modern theories in quantum physics, which suggest that time may be shaped in ways we do not yet understand. Could the black sun offer us a new way to navigate this dimension, allowing us to experience time not as a prison but as a tool to explore our own reality? This paradox of time is also deeply connected to the idea of the black sun as a catalyst for inner transformation. For many, it is a symbol of confronting our own limitations, an opportunity to rewrite the narrative of who we are. But this process is far from simple. It demands that we abandon certainties, that we let go of versions of ourselves that no longer serve us. In practical terms, this means the black sun does not merely unlock external doors, it forces us to open internal ones, to face the unknown within us. How often do we postpone this journey out of fear of what we might find? This fear is not unjustified. The black sun also carries the danger of imbalance. It is a transformative force, but like any powerful tool, it can be misused. In some esoteric traditions, it is described as a key that, if turned recklessly, can open portals we are not equipped to close. These warnings serve as reminders that it is not merely access to knowledge that matters, but the preparation to handle the consequences of obtaining it. In our desire to understand the universe, are we overlooking the weight this understanding might bring? However, the black sun is not just a key for the individual. It also reflects a collective convergence point, a symbol of the connection between all human beings. Rather than leading solely to individual awakening, it suggests that human consciousness is part of a greater whole, something that transcends our divisions and illusions of separation. In the Akashic record, or the idea of a universal collective memory, the black sun would be a passageway to access a field of information that belongs not just to us but to all humanity. What if, by turning this key, we discovered that all our stories are interconnected? That everything we think of as I is, in reality, we? In the realm of speculative science, this vision of connection finds surprising parallels. Some theories suggest that the universe operates through invisible patterns, codes or fundamental laws that underpin everything that exists. Could the black sun be a symbolic key to understanding these patterns? Perhaps it is a metaphor for the forces that connect subatomic particles on a quantum level, or for the energy flows that keep the cosmos in balance. Even if we can never prove its physical existence, the black sun challenges us to think of the universe as something alive, a system of infinite connections and possibilities. Another fascinating aspect of the black sun as a key is its role in integrating opposites. It does not merely bring together light and shadow, but transcends this duality. In practical terms, this means it challenges us to rethink how we classify the world: good and evil, light and dark, beginning and end. The black sun reminds us that these opposites are not absolutes, but part of a larger process of transformation. It asks us to look beyond appearances, to abandon our judgments, and to accept the complexity of existence. Is this not the key to a deeper understanding of the world and of ourselves? But perhaps the greatest challenge of the black sun is this: it is not just a key to open external doors, it forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. What would you do with the power to shape your reality? What would you be willing to sacrifice to access greater truths? In many ways, the black sun is a test. It places before us a choice: to remain in the safety of what we know or to dare to explore what lies beyond. The black sun reminds us that true wisdom is not something we find out there, but something we awaken within ourselves. The key is not a physical object we can hold. It is an act of courage, of letting go of the old to make way for the new. The question is not whether we are ready to turn the key, but whether we are willing to face what we will find when the door is opened. The black sun is not just a memory of the past or a symbol of the present. It points towards something that is yet to come. It invites us to imagine a future where science, spirituality, and consciousness are interconnected. A future where the barriers between what we know and what we don't begin to dissolve. Could we be on the brink of a cosmic transition, a great transformation that the black sun symbolizes? Some may see the black sun as an echo of ancient truths forgotten by humanity, a call to return to the universal forces that connect us to the cosmos. Others may interpret it as a sign of something new, something that is only beginning to emerge. A collective awakening where not just individuals, but all of humanity can access a new layer of reality. What would happen if we could see the universe not as something separate from us, but as an extension of our own consciousness? This future, however, is not a guaranteed promise. It is a test. The black sun, as the key to the universe, challenges us to deal with the consequences of opening doors that were once closed. In times of great discoveries, whether scientific, spiritual, or technological, humanity faces a choice: to use this knowledge to evolve or allow it to become a destructive force. The black sun warns us that with great power comes immense responsibility. Are we ready for that responsibility? In a broader context, the black sun forces us to reconsider our ideas of progress. Progress is not only technological or material, it is spiritual, emotional, and collective. It teaches us that true evolution can only occur when we find balance between light and shadow, science and spirituality, individuality and unity. The future that the black sun suggests is not merely an era of advancements, but an era of integration, where we learn to live in harmony with the forces that shape us. Yet there is something even deeper that the black sun teaches us. The duality it represents is not something to be overcome but understood. It is not just the end or the beginning, it is both. It challenges us to accept that destruction and creation, light and darkness, are inseparable parts of a greater cycle. And in accepting this, We become conscious participants in this process rather than passive spectators. But perhaps the greatest paradox of the black sun is this. It offers us the promise of answers, but also reminds us that not all questions need to be answered. There are mysteries that must remain as they are, forces that can only be experienced, not fully understood. Perhaps the black sun is not something we can master, but something we must honor, a reminder that the universe is far greater than we can imagine. The future that the black sun suggests is not a fixed destination. It is an invitation to become co-creators of our reality, to embrace the unknown and participate in the grand cosmic cycle of creation and rebirth. But the final question remains: are we ready to accept this invitation? If you're interested in exploring more about spirituality, I've selected some videos just for you, packed with profound insights and fascinating discoveries that you'll love. Simply click on one of them. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue this journey of self-discovery and spiritual learning. Your commitment to knowledge is the first step toward transforming your reality.